Greetings, Houdini Python students. This is the second session of our exploration of Python in Houdini Digital Assets. In this session, we will learn how to create multiple Python modules in a digital asset and to call our Python code outside of the digital asset. Now, the default Python module is a good central place to store your Python scripts. Now, in order to access that Python module, we're going to go over to Type Properties. All right, so we're in the type properties, go to scripts. Now we see the Python module, it's a good place to store your central scripts. What if you wanted to store your scripts in a dedicated separate location? A submodule can easily be created, or multiple submodules can be easily created to store the modules that you want to keep separate. So we're inside of the scripts tab. Now go to the event handler, go to custom script, and create a new name called, let's call this extra Python. You can name it anything that you want. Click Add Empty Section. Now what we did is here we have a brand new section here for a brand new Python section. Now make sure it is Python. Instead of HScript, change this over to Python. Now I'm going to create a real quick little simple script. Say import who, okay, def node ID, and where input is just a basic node. And then I'm going to create a little buffer string here that says, hey, we're inside of the extra node and this is my node name. So extra, this node is, and the node name is such and such. And we're going to go who.ui.display message. All right, and we want buff. All right. Now, we're not ready to go yet because we still have to tell Houdini to use this new module as a submodule of our Python module. So we're going to go back to our Python module, and then we're going to add a little bit of nutty code here. Now, you're going to have to follow with me the best that you can, but we have to say import toolutils. And then we're going to have to create a new variable called extra, and say extra equals, and we're going to have to call toolutils and a method inside of it called create module from section. Now create module from section actually identifies a new module from an empty section, and it appends it onto something else. So extra equals toolutils create module for section extra. That's the new name that we want. And well, hold on. I want to try to get the other half of my thing. And then we're going to call the quargs type, which is the actual Houdini module type. Quargs type, and that returns the Houdini module. And then extra Python is the name of the module that I want appended as a sub module to the Python module. All right, cool. Now to test this out, I'm going to go ahead and add a brand new parameter called button. And just to know that we have an extra, I'm going to call this extra, and we're going to create a brand new callback script. So don't forget to change it to the Python. And so the command for that is a typical quargs, and we want the node name, and HDA module is called, but instead of just going right and calling that new node ID method, we have to use the submodule, which is now called extra. Extra, now we can say node ID, and we're going to send it as one parm, which is the node, so quargs node. All right, we should be ready to rock and roll. Now, if we hit apply, and then we hit this extra button, we should get a little script that says extra, this node is Python class 1. So we do know that we're using the extra Python node module right now for this new button. All right, so we're good. Now, what if you wanted to actually call your Python script from outside of the digital asset? Well, then you're going to have to access the digital asset according to its type and its category. And we're going to have to get out of the type properties window and actually go to our venerable old Python shell here. And then we're going to have to start accessing the information. But I forgot. One thing I wanted to do before that is actually create arbitrary geometry object. So I'm going to create this brand new geometry object. I'm just going to call it Geo1. It's not supposed to do anything. It's going to act like as a placeholder. But I'm going to go with my Python shell here. And now we're going to access the type of our digital asset. So I'm going to create a new variable we'll call type. And the way you access the type for that is you say type equals who dot node type, and the inputs for that is a who dot object node type category, which is the actual category, and the name for this actual session or this new module that we're accessing, and it's called Python class. Python class. All right. Now if we type in type, we should get, we do now have a node type now for our Python class. Now with that, we can actually start calling the methods within the digital asset. So type dot HDA module. All right, that's the same thing that we used in our callbacks. That's the same nomenclature that we used. And now we can say on button press, which is our first callback method, and it requires two methods. And I'm going to actually grab this node as our input node, and I'm going to grab one of its parameters for the parameter node. Now this is just an arbitrary hypothetical situation, but just to show you how it works. Now when I hit enter, this should pop up a little window. It said node Geo1 now returns parm t. The identified parameter is the translation. All right. Now to extend that even further, this will work into the extra module as well. So, but instead of going through all this kakamaka of going through all of the node type stuff, Houdini does offer a convenience function, and that is the HDA module. So it knows that you're going to be dealing with digital assets mostly on this. So it says, okay, forget about all that type stuff. Let's just go right to the digital asset itself. All right, so I'm going to go right to the digital asset. I'm going to grab the node and pull it onto here. And then I'm just going to type in the convenience code. It's HDA module. You've seen this before. And its submodule is called extra. And then we're going to call it node ID. And then we're just going to send it the node ID of whatever we put on here. And let's put this on here, node geometry for this geometry, for this abstract geometry. And then I'm going to hit enter. And we say extra, this node is Geo1. All right, so now we went through and we showed how to access the Python methods inside of the digital assets without actually being inside of the digital assets. Now to wrap things up, it is possible to create multiple Python modules within a digital asset using the convenience function HDA module. Now you can access Python coded in embedded digital assets, and you can use the HDA module to access that information. Now the next lessons will be a hands-on creation of a Python SOP. I'll see you in the next lesson.